that had called in prior with the 911s. That being one of the victims, Bo Bummer, if I recall correctly. That number called Slacks, indicating something to the extent of the person who owns this phone. The implication was that they were dead or going to be dead, right?
Right.
So that happened. Again, the Glendale's located. Upon arrival, actually, Barrick, I'm going to let you explain this because I wasn't present for the original bit, and then I'll take over from there.
So, upon arrival, there are two individuals at the base of the water tower, accompanied by two victims, one of which, actually, they're both incapacitated on the ground.
I wonder if I'll let him go.
Actually,
okay.
No, go back.
Can't quite do that. About
previous two. When we roll up, there's one person incapacitated on the ground, one of the two victims, the other is being held at knife point by one of the suspects. The soon-to-be second incapacitated victim, who is on top of the water tower, is seen climbing along with one suspect, being, Mr. Paul in there. After they climb to the top of the water tower, we turn our lights and sirens on, and then the victim proceeds to jump from the top of the water tower and land on the ground and be incapacitated. Then Mr. Paul would come down roughly 90 seconds later.
Okay.
So I then arrive. I was a distance away when most of this happened, including the jumping off. Upon my arrival, I was told we need units to mount up, get ready to pursue. The individuals were then let into the Black Glendale that was registered to John Paul. I pursued it. I was primary for majority of the pursuit. After information that Slacks had obtained, I suspect that to be the fact that some of the individuals had gunshot wounds, in addition to one of the individuals having claimed that they, were sort of forced to jump off the water tower silo or whatever it is.
Which individuals were claiming this?
That would be, give me a moment here. Give me just a second.
So just so I'm clear, the one victim was Bo Bummer, and then we have two other victims as well.
Yep, there's a Bo Bummer. There's a I believe Chili Mac and
Chili Mac.
Chloe Cloak. Yes. Yeah. So those are the three individuals. From my understanding, it was Mr. Chili that was forced to jump off the tower. At that point, Captain Slacks authorized us to use lethal force to, essentially neutralize the threat here.
Right.
Given the fact that somebody had already been shot on South Shambles, the vehicle leaving the scene was then refound. We're literally talking at most 2 blocks away. Like it's the off-road area from South Shambles towards Elysian Fields, or yeah, I believe it's
It was
Elysian
seconds,
Fields.
basically, less than a minute before you found them.
Well, no. So the 911 calls came in. We received a report of an injured individual in that area. We had shots, if I recall correctly, shots fired in the area, but we couldn't find the person. We then scoured that, we're searching because of this call that Slacks got, indicating that the person's going to be dead. And now we're assuming, someone's going to be swimming with the fishies,
Right.
Then an officer locates the Glendale and a group of individuals by those towers, literally within a 2-block radius of the actual shooting itself.
Okay.
Then officers went on scene. They saw one of the individuals jumping off the tower, and their statement was that they were forced to, and they were told that they would have been shot if they didn't. So that's why they did. They then ended up injured. Pursuit happened. We were cleared to open fire on the basis of the gunshot wounds, all that stuff. The vehicle ends up being disabled as a result of it flipping right next to the courthouse, actually, or City Hall. There was then a foot pursuit. I can only speak on behalf of 2 individuals. I don't know about the third. there is a foot pursuit where 2 individuals on foot, and again, these are individuals we were cleared to shoot already, but I did get on my megaphone again and instructed them at least one additional time that if they did not surrender, they would be shot, to which neither surrendered and both were shot. So that then resulted in, I don't know who's processing the others specifically, but I'm processing John Paul.
Okay.
Upon searching him, he was found to be in possession of a SIM card belonging to the victim who originally called 911, and the same number that called Slacks to inform him that, you know, the individual was again, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but the implication was that they were dead. That's currently where we're at.
Who are the other suspects indicted?
Samuel Smalls and Benji Ramos.
Okay. So what are Mr. Paul's
Ready for the charges
for today? Yeah.
So as of right now, Mr. Paul's charges are 3 counts of kidnapping. That's going to be for the 3 individuals.
For the
who were transported from South Shambles over to that silo area. Resisting arrest and 1 count attempted second-degree murder, and that is going to be on the basis of forcing someone against their will to jump off a silo.
Got it. 1 count attempted second-degree murder, 3 times kidnapping, 1 times resisting arrest.
Correction, accomplice to kidnapping. Sorry.
Accomplice. So 3 times accomplice to kidnapping. Got it.
Yep, and then the other, they are principal on that.
What do they plea?
The other individuals, I don't believe there's any determination on that at the moment.
Gotcha.
I know one of them is speaking with counsel, or at least did. I don't know if that's been resolved. But in terms of time and fine, we are originally looking at 72 months and a $3,210 fine. I will also say that your client did test positive for gunshot residue, though the weapon that we suspect was utilized was likely passed around because it was then found in somebody else's possession who also tested positive for gunshot residue.
Sure. But he wasn't found with any weapon?
That is correct.
Okay.
Officers did see that he had a weapon at the top of the water tower, but he did not have anything on his person at the time of arrest, suggesting it was ditched. There were times throughout the pursuit that stuff was tossed out.
Over here.
Okay.
That's currently where we stand. What questions y'all got for me? Just a heads up, again, I was not the officer originally on scene, but if necessary, I can go ahead and reference the reports that have been made, most of which are fairly thorough. So if I don't have an answer, I'm not going to pretend to have one. I'll go and ask the officer who did witness this, okay?
My initial response is I think those charges are fair and extremely provable. But I would like to talk to Mr. Paul to see where he would like to move from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Just let me know when y'all are ready.
Will do.
The door is locked.
It's locked.
Ooh.
Thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you.
No, you need to keep it unlocked because they can't get out.
Yeah.
If you don't.
It's a kidnapping, 1 times attempted second-degree murder, and 1 times
If you do end up locking it on accident, just make sure you don't walk into the door. Just stay a distance away and put your key in. That way it doesn't swing open temporarily.
Okay.
All right, let me go speak with... Is Slacks gone yet? Be over there.
Shouldn't be.
All right, let me go speak with him. Lawyers folded?
Let's go.
Not necessarily. I can tell you why Samantha is... Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Rhodes.
Oh, what's up?
Nothing. I just love you. That's all.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm also going in this lineup room.
Okay.
No. I
Is
want
everyone in here? Okay.
Can I
Just
smoke
stay in
in
here.
here? Can I smoke in here?
Probably.
Ventilation.
Okay. I just need to know if I can smoke in here.
So, what's up, Rhodes? How you doing?
So my 95 is John Paul, lawyer. I mean, I spoke with the lawyers. They're now speaking with their client. I imagine they're going to be happy. In fact, I've sort of structured this in a way where they would be a fool not to take a deal here, just on the basis that, I mean, if they attempt to do anything regarding the attempted second degree on the basis of forcing someone off, I mean, hell, there could be reckless endangerment and misuse of a rental vehicle. There are countless other charges, and I know Samantha, and she's gonna know this, and she's gonna know the quickest way to ensure that nothing else gets added is to ensure he gets processed.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how they. Actually, I'm gonna wait for them because they're likely gonna be out shortly. Don't mind me.
Alpha 13.
Benji,
We can get that dropped down to a
hold on. Excuse, knock knock. I'm a cop. I don't want to overhear a conversation, but all y'all's is
Thank
loud as
you.
fuck.
Can you guys stop yelling? Whisper.
Siobhan,
I
you
li-
too.
I was whispering. I was
Wait, we're-
whispering, Rhodes.
Hold on, wait. Wait. Whisper?
Whisper.
I can hear you clearly.
I'm whispering.
Okay, I'm whispering. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? Rhodes. Rhodes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Can y'all hear me over there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm yelling, and I can hear y'all.
I
I'm
was only
speaking
whispering.
normally.
This place is echoey.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
we were whispering.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure y'all knew. So just be mindful, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Say something now.
Hello. You
Oh.
there?
I can still hear y'all.
You're right, she did. Just not-
Yeah, I can still hear you. You know what? Y'all are fine. The officers went in there anyways.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Rhodes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all don't have to be sorry.
Quitters. Oh, hi.
Hello, how's it going?
I should have shot sooner, so you didn't have to. Me and
That's irrelevant. Listen, if something's part of the job, it's part of the job. I can tell you now, when given instruction, unless I have information that goes directly against what I think would be proper, you know, at the end of the day, you follow through with it. If it's the wrong call, as rough as it is, we're human. We make mistakes. It'd be
Yeah.
what it be.
Yeah.
I thought he was cornered where me and Brick had him, but somehow, some way, he like American Ninja Warriored up onto the roof of that place.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a surprise.
There was a little like overhang.
Yeah.
He jumped on that. He jumped into another section, and then I believe another, which is a ladder. I could be wrong. Maybe not. I don't know. But I circled around, and that's when I saw him face plant when he jumped off the dollar pill side. So it be what it be. Do.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, I thought about
Yeah,
something. I thought
yeah,
about a
what you
few
thinking about?
things.
What's that?
What were you about to tell me?
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
You're more interested. No, you go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
You go first.
No, you go first.
You know what? Best dressed goes first. So you.
Kindest heart goes first. So you. We've done
you
this
sure
game
about
so
that
much,
one?
Rhodes. Yep.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: were you about to
Pierre
tell me that
wouldn't
they're
agree.
gonna plead guilty?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You go first. Yeah.
Well,
Who's got
during
the
this
best thing to say?
during
There
this
you go.
downtime, I thought of a few
Yeah.
additional things.
Okay.
You know, like reckless endangerment, misuse of a rental vehicle. But
Okay, so you're adding charges?
no, I'm not adding them
Okay,
because
okay.
you know, it is
That's
what
your
it is,
discretion?
right? Correct. And so essentially the deal on the table would be essentially the current or the original list of charges prior to the additional stuff. But You tell me what you had.
Can you catch me up? What's the additional stuff that we're doing?
Well, it was more so the introduction of misuse of rental vehicle in addition to reckless endangerment, but I'm willing to look past that. And when I say look past that, structure this as, you know, a deal in which those don't get pushed in the event or in exchange for a guilty plea.
Well, I got some good news and bad news for you.
Okay.
We will be pleading today.
And is the bad news you'll be pleading no contest?
The bad news is we're going to be going through an arraignment at a bench trial.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Hmm.
So you're pleading not guilty.
Correct.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
not pleading not guilty and going to a bench trial.
Understood. I will reach out to a judge
Thank
and
you.
see if they're available. Give me just a moment.
Thank you.
I love
No
court.
problem.
I also love court. I don't know if anyone has ever known that at all.
Here we are.
Can I be the designated objector?
Bench trial was
No.
All right.
Let's see.
You adding the other charges as well?
Yes, because when I
Yep,
inform
yep,
the
yep,
judges,
yep.
I'm going to inform them of the charges. Mm-mm-mm. Charges. If I can type. Attempted second degree murder. Reckless endangerment.
Are you sure about the whole objection thing?
What objection thing?
He wants to be the one that objects.
I love court.
Oh, sure. Have at it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Xavier's good.
All right. I have reached out for a judge. All right. Let's see.
What did you
Where's
just
that
do?
cheat sheet at?
Oh, you're right. That's a good one.
That's a cheat sheet. We need to get the cheat sheet. Court proceedings 675 675. Everybody.
Can a bench trial lead to more charges? If someone openly admits to committing crime, absolutely. All right, we'll give it 5-10 minutes for a response from a judge and go from there. All right, I'm going to see what's going on with the others, so give me just a moment.
Sounds good.
Did you do it in front of the cops?
All right. Hey, just a heads up. I definitely can't hear y'all, but warning, I'm walking.
In front of the cops.
Hey,
Where are you walking to?
well, I just wanted to say hello, you know, get sort of a status check on how everything's going.
It's going great, Rhodes. Yeah, we're having a grand old time down here.
That's
It's absolutely,
good, that's good.
It's a
Perfect.
class act, yeah.
You guys good? You still need some time?
We do still need some time if you don't mind.
Okay,
Could we just
all
have
right.
like
Okay.
2 more minutes and
Yeah.
We're
check
gonna
back
be in
in?
this lineup room lining up, okay? We
Okay.
can
Hey,
just
which one of
grab-
you is? Hey, which one of you is taller?
Probably Rhodes.
I would
is
have
the
guessed
taller one.
Rhodes too.
Rhodes
Really?
has always been the taller
Yeah.
guy.
You know what? I don't really think my height is is anything
Rhodes,
of
how
like
tall are you? Are you like 6'2", 6'3"?
Take the compliment.
Take the compliment. Accept it. Say thank you.
Take the fucking
5'10".
Oh,
Oh, he
That's
doesn't
like-
like to 6
Barrick, how
foot. What
tall
a
are
good
you?
guy.
how
No,
tall are
don't
you?
worry
Good
about
guy.
it.
How tall are you, Barrick?
No, I'm not going about that. Everybody just calls me short, so I'm just gonna accept that I'm
Oh, you're
probably
big.
short.
You're
Oh,
big, Eric.
jeez.
Hey, Rhodes, do you think I'm needed here?
Yes, because my individual requested a bench trial.
Okay. Gladly. I've added my statement as well too,
right.
regarding it.
Sounds good. We'll see how this goes. We will see how it goes.
I'm assuming it's Mr. Jean Paul.
That is correct. Yes.
What is he contesting? Do you know?
They didn't really indicate anything. I
Sounds
did
like
make
all of it.
I did make an adjustment to the charges, considering the vehicle utilized was a rental vehicle, so I threw in misuse in addition to reckless endangerment.
And I'm assuming reckless damage for pushing the guy off, or what is it for?
Yes. In addition to the fact that they were informed that if they continued to flee or run and didn't surrender, they would be shot. Continue to do so. And obviously, you know, if we have to open fire in any sort of public area, we can't remove all risk. And therefore, you know, they are the reason risk was created, even if they didn't intend on there being any sort of consequence as a result. I'm just saying, I could prove that very easily. But I reached out to a judge a few minutes ago. I'm going to give it like 5 to 10. If there's no response from there, then we'll just go forward with the pushing of the charges and move on.
All right.
All right.
Should be good.
What do you mean should be good?
I'm just seeing what the argument is.
I don't know. I'm curious, but genuinely, I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, not wrong. Wait a minute. Mr. Paul jaywalked, didn't he?
At what point?
Well, the
Running
crossover
away?
from
When he was
McDonald towards the
Oh, yeah, when he was
backside of
running
Dollar
away,
Pills.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, that is a gateway crime. Think about it.
Is it still gateway if you jaywalk after the crime, though? After, like, the main thing that jaywalking leads to?
Is that stacking?
Do you guys need food?
Yeah.
Was that to his question or the food question?
Food. So just a heads up, it has been about 5 minutes since I've requested a judge. I'll give it up to 10. If we don't get a response by then, we'll just go through with the normal processing, and this can be filed as an appeal.
What if we were to plead guilty? Serious. Parentheses serious.
Well, I mean, deal on the table is still there.
Okay.
Regarding
what's our time and fine looking at? Because he doesn't have much money at all.
So right now, with the 2 additional charges that I did add, it would have gone from what I informed you of before to 93 months and a $4,710 fine.
Okay.
Removing those, let's see. Removing those drops it down to 72 and a $3,210 fine.
Okay. And so if we're to plead guilty to the original charges rather than the reckless endangerment, if we take the 2 newer charges off and we were to plead guilty to one, what are we looking at for time and fine then? How much time? If he's been here, we've had a pretty civil discussion.
I'll speak with Slacks regarding time.
Perfect.
Fine's not negotiable, as I'm sure you're aware. So give me a moment. Let me speak with Slacks and get to the bottom of this, and I'll see we'll see what we can do.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
So for time served, you can give him time for waiting for the bench trial since you're all waiting for a judge to respond back to that, and then 20% of the total time for any violent felonies.
Normally, I would not push anything beyond that, but we did suffer for things a little beyond our control. So I want to make sure I'm structuring this properly, because I'd be content throwing in, I'd say, like an extra 15 months, regardless of whether or not they plead guilty, just because of stuff out of our control. And then from there, 20% from the original time. So 20% plus 15 months, essentially, is what I'd be willing to, what I think would be okay given the circumstances.
All right, perfect.
Are you content with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Like I said,
perfect.
I trust your judgment pretty well, so I mean, I don't got a problem with it as long as we're not taking 80 7% time off, we should be good. As long
Yeah,
as between
no.
the 20-30% range.
Normally, I wouldn't have even considered anything beyond the original 20, but like I said, we did have quite a few headaches beyond
there's a lot
anyone's
of
control at
hiccups
the
for
time.
sure. Yeah, exactly
So,
right.
All right,
So
I'll go ahead and offer that.
all right, thank you.
No problem. Just a moment.
Yes. It's
So
my birthday.
72 minus 20% is 57. Minus 15 is 42. We'll round down to 40 and go from there. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what I can do for you.
Yes.
So for things beyond anyone's control, regardless of any deal, we're gonna drop the original 72. We're gonna drop that down by 15 again because it's not. It wasn't within anyone's control. It is what it is. So that'll essentially be considered for time served, regardless of whether or not a plea deal will be taken.
Okay,
However, let's see here. Let me figure out the math.
Are you sure? I thought you're not a mathematician.
No, I'm not. But calculators are a thing.
Okay.
So taking into account, so the way I'm structuring it is, again, regardless, 15 months off. So we're going to take, in exchange for a guilty plea, we'll do 20% of the original time off, and then an additional 15 months off of that, which brings it down to about 42. Again, just to make things simple, I'm content with dropping it to an even 40, which I think would be very reasonable given the circumstances.
You know what? Can I be honest with you? I can't accept that because on the fact that I can't plead guilty. Because I believe I was wrongfully shot at, and if I plead guilty, it's gonna be bad.
That's okay. We can go ahead with the original situation. Give me a moment here.
I don't think you should be shooting civilians with their hands up.
Are we able to drop the resisting arrest?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. Can you articulate to me just for me and you why you shot at me like that?
Yes. So, from my understanding, this had originally stemmed from individuals having been shot. And at that point, given the circumstances, and given at that point y'all were fleeing felons, you were shot as a result of that, on orders of Captain Slacks.
Hold on. What year are we now?
2024.
Also, we're not like we're not like in the 90s, in the 1900s.
No, I don't think so.
If we're not in the 1900s, then how the fuck you shoot people with their backs turned?
It's quite simple, actually. At that point, given the circumstances, given the fact that there had already been individuals shot down, kidnapped, injured, from y'all, it would be very easily to articulate at that point that we had every reason to believe y'all were presently armed and dangerous and posed significant risk of death, serious bodily injury, anything to that extent.
So you believe that when I was on that little counter, that I was gonna turn my back, or like some bulls were gonna shoot out of my back or something? Being shot in the back is bad regardless. Any situations, I think is almost impossible to argue shooting somebody in the back.
I think if someone is actively fleeing, despite having been told if they continue to flee, that they're going to get shot, I'd have every reason to believe that the moment you turned a corner, you'd have every opportunity to gun me down.
What corner? Wait, hold on. What corner?
Any corner. You climbed a ladder, immediately went onto a rooftop.
Hold on. So, wait, hold on. I turned like 10 corners I was never shot at. Then I was out in the open and I was shot at. What was the threat? I don't understand it.
So here's the thing. The delay in shooting you was presented on the basis that when you crossed over to Mosley's, where officers were positioned, before you went into like the actual gated area, we'd have been shooting in a heavily populated area, right? We then circled around to the laundromat where you're on that upper section. You're the only person there. My aim would have to have been so bad to have struck anybody else.
Oh, okay. So basically, what you're saying is that basically you guys were just set in stone on getting some kills. Like, there's nothing I could have done at that point.
You could have surrendered, as instructed, over the megaphone.
At that point, I would have to stop moving, and I would have to be like away from you, whatever, and then you take me to custody, right? Which is pretty much what I did, except you shot at me.
Not quite. not quite. You had traveled several blocks before coming to a stop, but the only reason you stopped was because you got shot. And the only reason you got shot was because, again, at that point, you were a fleeing felon.
So
again, you were instructed over radio or over megaphone to stop or you'd be shot.
Yeah, but if you want people to listen to what you're saying, right? You guys should not lie often, right? Now, here's how this works. Okay?
I agree. That's why I told you what I would do, and I did it. That's why you were shot.
Exactly. But I only didn't respect what you said because you guys lie too often. You make a precedent that you guys follow through what you do. Like, hey, man, yeah, you can flee this, right? Free passage, no spikes, and you shoot at me. Why do I think that, oh, you're actually going to shoot me later on? You say, oh, if you don't stop, we're going to shoot at you. Because you just lied to me. At that point, you're a liar. Why would I listen now? How about you be truthful, and then I'll listen to everything you say.
So unfortunately, I wasn't present for that original situation.
Oh, that's classic.
But here's the thing: even if I were, the reason I say unfortunately I wasn't present is because I don't know the exact context. I don't know who said what. But at the end of the day, if we arrive to a scene in which there are multiple injured individuals, at least one of which had gunshot wounds, right? It would be very hard to not argue any sort of reason at that point, really, to not open fire upon the vehicle, especially considering the prior knowledge of someone calling 911 indicating that they're being shot at, and upon arrival, despite receiving a call that there was an injured party there, they were gone, right? Again, given the circumstances, I'm gonna be real. Just about every officer would have done the same thing.
That's not what they would do it. But be honest with me. I think you shouldn't lie to the people saying free passage, no spikes. Go ahead and then shoot them. And I don't think there's any sort of like kind of case where that's productive for anybody.
You know what? We can probably agree to disagree. I do think at the end of the day, if you are involved in individuals being injured, whether that be through, someone having been shot, forced against their will to do something, whatever the situation is, right?
Then tell me that right now so I can surrender, and then you guys don't have to shoot anybody. How about that?
But you weren't told that. I told you over megaphone.
Yeah, but wait, you're missing the point. You're not following the dialogue at all, right? If you tell me the truth and you say, hey, man, no, you don't get free passage, no spikes because you shot somebody, right? Then at that point, I'll be like, I'll surrender then because I know you're going to shoot me because I trust you. Then I surrender, I go to custody, and then boom, it's done. Why do you bait me into getting shot at?
Wait a minute, Mr. Paul.
What the heck is that?
Hold on, you asked for free passage, no spikes? Sure, you want free passage to Narnia? Did you have a wardrobe you were about to go into?
Bro
at some time throughout that pursuit?
Wait, we turned 3 corners.
3 corners? What?
Okay, we did it. Actually, 1. We did El Rancho, Mirror Park. When we turned on to Elgin, we got shut in from at Elgin.
Mr. Paul, where did you want free passage to?
That's 2 corners.
Did you want free passage to an aircraft at LSIA? I'm confused. What was your expectation of free passage?
No, man.
You wanted to go home?
Bro, this wasn't like a long chase. You guys were setting up for shooting up the hill. Like, we didn't get like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. You guys shot instantly. What?
Yeah. That happens when someone has been shot down by y'all.
Then at the initial scene, just say, hey, man, by the way, you are not getting free passage. Surrender now, or we're going to shoot you on the way out. And I'll be like, well, I don't want to get shot. And I believe cops don't want to shoot people. Then we stop right there. Instead of saying, you know what? Go ahead. Get out. We got you. Bang, start shooting it.
Okay,
What's the point of that?
No, I can actually explain this.
More blood for no reason.
I can explain this, Mr. Paul. The reason for that is from my understanding, we did not have the context that someone had been shot until after you guys had left and we had access to the individual who was already injured upon our arrival, right? because upon our arrival, there was already an injured person. We were unable to determine that they had been shot. We only saw the other person having been pushed off. Okay.
That sounds like lousy police work. That's what
lousy
it sounds like.
police work.
Lousy police work. Absolutely disgusting and lousy police work. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I know you didn't just say lousy police work.
Okay, and then here's what we do next time.
Tell me.
If somebody shoots at me, right, it's like some gangster, I'm gonna come and say, guys, we were shot at with an RPG, and you guys pull off Air 1, Air 2, and just send out a fucking nuke at that bitch ass, yeah? Because you should take my story to gospel, right, and change on the fly based on new context being given. Yes.
Okay. If you want officers to be upfront and honest,
I said something pretty reasonable now. Come on.
I don't think that's the case. I think you brought up an extreme. You talked about RPGs and nukes. I think that's very unreasonable, actually, Mr. Paul. I think you're comparing apples to oranges here. We were talking to something, relatively small, and you went like nuclear. That's kind of fucked up for comparison. What I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna be real. The professional side of me is just like, there may be things I want to say, but Mr. Paul, never mind.
Why not?
Well, because I need to remain professional at all times.
It seems like you guys baited me to run so you could shoot at me. It's what I'm trying to be at.
No. Again, unfortunately, we were not aware that the individual had been shot. So that's why that call was made relatively shortly into the pursuit.
So where was that guy shot at?
So the call, when I went over the megaphone in the pursuit, towards the beginning of the pursuit, that is when the officer had been, or gained the knowledge that the individual had been shot and was the same individual who'd been calling 911 earlier in the day. All right. So from there, once we had that information, we are 100% clear to shoot on that basis, considering, someone in that vehicle had shot someone like 10, 15 minutes prior. By the way, just 2 blocks away. You say lazy police work. I think you need to take a look in the mirror.
Police work?
Well, yeah, maybe not so much for police work, but you need to take a look in the mirror. You say, I'm lazy. Well, the police.
How am I lazy?
2 blocks away?
Don't respond to that.
If that's 2 blocks away, then I got shot at 1 block away from the initial thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that changes that the reason you got shot was because we gained information that we did not have before.
Oh, new information. So there's no realm where like something that happens in between the initial scene and then the new one where potentially we don't have a gun or whatever. Because as far as I'm concerned, my DNA was not in that gun, was it? Was that gun ever fired?
Couldn't tell you.
Go check.
I couldn't tell you.
Because you can't tell me because it's lousy police work. How many times do I gotta say this?
Well, the reality is you didn't have a gun on your person, okay?
And the gun
wasn't shot either, was it? I know any good attorney here would very likely just harp on the fact that there ain't no gun. There isn't this, there isn't that.
And any good police wouldn't push a charge that they know would fail in court.
Okay,
you arguing
but
that
what
my lawyers
charge?
are bad because they won't push against the charge. Right?
Hold on, what charge?
They did push against the charge.
What charge are you? What's the point of contention here? What charge do you not agree with?
Wait. You just made this entire dialogue from like you made this interaction, like the whole gun thing. I didn't do that. You did that. You're saying that bad lawyers because they don't go against it. How about you do?
That's
good
not what I
work
said at all.
That's what you just said.
No.
Rhodes, we've worked together so much in the past. I've destroyed you on the other side of the courtoroom so many times. How dare you?
What?
I will destroy you again.
See?
Okay, all right.
Like I said, it's not up to the lawyers to push against bad charges. It's for the police to not push bad charges.
Okay, but at no point in time have I ever been told any point of contention with any of these charges. What is the point of contention?
Well, I'm just telling you that it's like
you're telling me that a point of contention exists, but you're not telling me what the point of how am I supposed to address your concerns if you're unwilling to tell me?
So you have a gun that's not been shot, DNA not on gun, some guy getting shot at, and you think that, oh, these guys, let's shoot at them because they have a gun. Right? Like at this point right now, you look at all this, right? and you understand that like no gun was used. Yeah, you get that.
What
yeah?
did you just do?
No. There was definitely an individual who was shot.
And who? Okay, by whom?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
That
not trying to
sucks.
claim you shot someone.
Then why did you shoot at a car that you can't prove shot anybody? What the fuck?
Okay, there's a few things. Again, you can't just look at any one sole thing here. Okay, it's a combination of everything. So take into account your vehicle, that Glendale leaving the scene, where the 911 call originally was placed, in addition to the fact that the 911 caller indicated they were being shot.
By
in
what?
addition, what do you mean by what?
By whom? But where did they get shot from? By whom?
I don't know, because they were missing. Because they were 2 blocks to the, I don't know, northeast.
Well, gosh darn it, that sucks.
But again, no charges are being pressed specific to the shooting here.
I'm just telling you guys that maybe you should reconsider why you're shooting and if you should be shooting or not. So, hey, was DNA on the gun or not?
Well, there was DNA on the gun.
And what kind of DNA was it? Come on, man, speak up, bro. We don't hear you, bro. What kind of DNA was it?
I'm not talking.
I want to know, bro. What kind of DNA you got, bro? Tell me.
You want me to tell him, Rhodes?
Yeah, tell me, bro.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It was neither yours nor the person it was in possession of.
Well, gosh darn it. Wouldn't you see? Man, how the heck does that happen?
Okay, so Mr. Paul, let's think of this logically, though, right? You had stated if you were told that if you had fled or whatever, you were going to get shot, you would have surrendered, right? Like that was your whole point at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if you were then told in the vehicle while y'all were fleeing that you're going to get shot if you don't pull over and surrender, then why wouldn't y'all have surrendered?
Because, well, no. The answer of your question is in the question. Are you not even listening to yourself?
No, I am.
If you say
answer it,
passage,
no, answer it. No, don't go to another question. Just answer it.
No. Hold on. I'm explaining to you why I'm
going to ask you the same thing. If you don't answer it directly, I'll ask it to you again, bud.
Okay. Ask again your question because the answer is in your question.
If at the very beginning you were not content with the fact that an officer told you something, and then we got aggressive once we obtained new information, right? If you had been told everything from the very beginning, you are not going to be able to leave here given the circumstances, you pretty much implied that you would have surrendered, right?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you are then told 45 seconds into a pursuit, I don't know what the actual time is, 30 seconds, 50, doesn't matter, right? If you're then told if you do not surrender, you are going to get shot, that is verbatim what I said on the megaphone, why would you not have surrendered?
Because that proves that you lied before, so why aren't you lying now?
What is there to lie about?
Well,
if you don't surrender, you're going to get shot. I didn't lie. I shot you.
You answered your own question in your question.
No, No. I'm asking why you specifically did not do something.
How do I know the circumstances changed? You're missing the point. Wait. So
you're confusing our perspectives. You have nothing to lose if the consequence is you being shot, right?
Okay. No, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
This starts from the get-go. You say you can go. We're not gonna shoot. This starts, yeah. Then we go around. Now you change. You say, oh, you're gonna get shot. Actually, you guys actually shot us directly, right? So now you made a point to tell us something and do something different. That's the basis. The basis is you said one thing, did the other. Now we crashed the car out, and now you say, oh, stop or you're gonna get shot. What gives me the impression, like what do I have to go on to think that, oh, he's gonna do what he's gonna say because
I literally did it earlier in the pursuit when I shot you on Popular Street.
Yeah, but that's in a car and whatnot, and maybe shooting at him. How am I supposed to know? Bro,
if I didn't lie to you the first time, what makes you think I'm gonna lie to you the second time?
Well, you just lied once. Once a liar, always a liar.
I did not lie. No, I did not lie. I did not lie. Everything I said was the truth.
Matters, and you didn't articulate why things changed. So how am I supposed to know when things changed and why we're getting shot? And now that you didn't lie, your perspective is relevant unless it's communicated to me.
So your justification is that the reason you didn't surrender once the pursuit started was because we already lied, and therefore we are probably gonna lie again. So are you making the assumption that the lie was about shooting you. I wasn't going to shoot you.
It doesn't matter.
Regardless. No, it does. It does matter.
Establish trust and be trustworthy and forthcoming, and then expect people to listen to you. What you say on the fact and the basis that you are forthcoming. You're a liar, bro. Like, I'm listening to you, dumbass. The fuck?
I'm a liar? I did not lie. Not once. Not once.
How are we supposed to know that? If you lied once, how do we know that you're telling the truth now about not lying?
You know what? Actually, even if he assumed I was the liar, right? Let's go with that hypothetical. He assumed I was the liar. I get a megaphone and tell him, if you don't pull over, you're gonna get shot. And then approximately a minute or two later, once the first opportunity presents itself, they get shot. At that point, would you not then assume, if I tell you over the megaphone, if you keep running, you're gonna get shot?
No.
Is it because we're now 1 for 1? You assumed I lied, then I told the truth, and now it's the unknown?
Yeah. You have to be forthcoming. You didn't articulate.
I was forthcoming. The whole time I was forthcoming.
Well, next time, just don't shoot.
That's kind of rich coming from the person positive for gunshot residue.
There's 1,000 different ways he could be positive for gunshot.
You know what? I agree. I'm just saying it's a bit rich.
So an unrelated gun, gunshot residue, a gunshot guy, and you make the entire conclusion that I shot somebody.
Well, that's not the conclusion I made.
It's what you just
you could have shot a deer for all I know.
Okay, so why'd you make this connection right now?
Well, I'm just saying a gun was involved. You are positive. More often than not, 1 + 1 does equal 2.
It seems like the gun was never used. Is that true? Hey, yo, DNA guy, did you check if the gun was ever shot? Hey, bro, yo,
Eric?
DNA guy.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you know if the gun was ever shot?
If that gun specifically was ever shot, no, I do not know.
Okay.
As previously mentioned, none of your charges have anything to do with the gun.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that if I was somebody else in that car or whatever, and I was the president, you guys are failing. Like, I think as a police, you should feel insulted with the fact that you're missing data, you're missing evidence, you're missing a lot of components into this, right? If somebody were to actually go into these charges, you would probably fail. Yeah.
No,
no, not really. 99.9% of us will only push what we can actually prove with what we have. So
What did the other guy get for charges? The other guy that was in the car.
It depends which one you ask.
The driver guy.
I'm sure he had like possession of the government issued firearm and stuff like that.
I want to know.
Literally how it goes.
We got 3 counts kidnapping. The firearm, attempted second-degree resisting, possession of stolen identification, petty robbery, reckless evading. I'm not sure if I said that. So he got 336 months and a $36,000 fine.
Yeah, but if you think about it, right?
I'm thinking.
Attempted murder how? With what? Because the guy's gunshot wounds. It has to be with something, right? Is it a gun?
I would assume so.
Okay. If the gun was never fired and there's no DNA on it, then what happened with the gun? Is it just like a magical gun? Does it float? Does it shoot itself? How is it not? Maybe some guy was just shot himself and said, "Hey guys, I've been shot at," even though he shot himself. How do you not know? How can you not make that connection? Why? How do you know this guy didn't just shoot himself in the fucking leg and said he did it? How do you prove that?
Well, so you have to understand that we have to prove something beyond a reasonable doubt, and it's not really reasonable. Your Honor, I didn't do it. They shot themselves in the leg. It wasn't me. It wasn't, I swear.
It's almost like this could have been a setup by someone who's part of a what he would call maybe like there was the union, it's called, I think, right? It's almost like Slack said last time, I don't like what's going on, and these guys have a little bit of a a motive to hit us with fat charges, right? And there's something in him to pull this off. No? You don't think it's reasonable?
I would need more context. I don't think I can fairly evaluate that situation with very limited info.
If I shoot myself and I say, Mr. Lang did it, and you guys catch Mr. Lang, and oh my god, he has a gun. Does that mean it automatically proves everything? Well, he has a gun.
No, not automatically.
No casings. I mean, shit, it's proven. Well, see how your story falls flat now.
Surrounding.
No, the story doesn't just fall flat.
It falls flat on its fucking face. That ass.
No, it does not.
Oh, well.
What?
Hopefully, you don't have a similar case anytime soon, and hopefully, you don't have to argue this because maybe you're gonna lose it. Who knows? Thoughts on that?
Well, Mr. Paul, I have a job to do, right? And in that job,
you do. True.
Well, so here's the thing. Within the capacity of that job, I may push charges that ultimately a judge, a completely different person, not being able to observe the same canvas that I can because I personally witnessed things, right? The end result can be completely different, or I'm sorry, could be the same, even if the circumstances are completely different in between. What I'm trying to get at here is it's not uncommon for charges to be dropped. Alternatively, charges to an individual's not found guilty of because it didn't meet the burden for the judge. And I'm okay with that. I can tell you now, if anything is ever brought into court, I do not mind if a judge drops my charge, if a judge ultimately finds them not guilty, if they reduce a charge. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, because if I did my job, I'm content with that. Okay, I'm content. I'm not in the slightest affected by somebody being found not guilty. It is what it is. I respect the Department of Justice.
That makes sense. Then if you think you're doing a good job and you're doing what you should be doing as a police officer, right? And you're pushing a charge involving a gun, right? Even though the gun seems like it was never possessed or shot at anybody, right? If that's considered doing a good job, then I mean, sir, I think you can be captain next month.
There is no. I'm not a captain.
Well, I mean, you should be, because you're god at what you're doing. Because clearly,
no,
that gun floated itself and shot somebody by itself. It's a flying gun. Case closed, bro. That's god police work right there, man. You're going off the fucking rocker.
What is the report number for this incident, please?
This is going to be
2039.
Yep, 2039.
So, Your Honor, my name is Captain, whatever your name is, and you say a floating gun one tapped my client from all the way up fucking La Mesa to the oil field. It's a one tapper. Case closed. Like, yeah, man, you're the best out there, man. Nobody can fucking defeat you in court, bro.
Right,
wait, I'm confused. What
client, please?
What charge are you assuming is related to the gun?
You said it was an attempted murder, right? And I said, well, what? I said, a gun. Okay.
No,
now you have a gun unrelated.
Oh my god, Mr. Paul. Okay.
What?
Give me 30 seconds uninterrupted, okay?
Good.
I'll try to clear this up. You are being charged with that attempted murder on the basis that you forced someone against their will to jump off a high silo or water tank or whatever it is. Not because a person was shot.
The guy said, watch this, and he jumped. What about it?
I think we're getting back to the territory of, Your Honor, I didn't shoot him in the foot. They shot them in the foot.
Well,
and pointing to the person who was shot in the foot.
The guy said in his story that he told me, that you guys told him, right? That I had a gun. Where's the gun?
Well, I don't know. Where's the wrench that you originally had?
I don't know either. That's your job, bro. This is your job. You're asking questions that are your job, not my job.
All right, Barrick, you want to explain what you saw?
It was basically the same thing, you know. Saw you up on top of the water tower when we came up. Saw you climb up there along with the inevitable victim, who you said just jumped off the water tower.
Yeah.
And once you guys got up there, you were up there for, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, and then you jumped off.
I did. I jumped off myself. I jumped off, but I jumped properly. Not like he did. He jumped like a dumbass. It's not my fault if you can't jump, bro. Like, what the heck?
Okay.
Next time, just jump properly, Kurt. Not my fault, man. What the heck?
All right. Do you want to? Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
After that, you can send me to jail, man.
Yep. We'll be quick.
And I'll appeal at a later date.
All right.
Ain't no way he referenced my goddamn case like that. He goes, hopefully you don't have to argue something of that relation at any point soon. I have a case today at 7 p.m. for possession of a government-issued firearm.
Wait, no, it's got nothing to do with that.
Oh, wait, was that not the case he was talking about?
No, he is pretty much implying. I think if I'm picking up what he's putting down, he is going to force someone to do something to then put the blame on them and not him. I don't quite know exactly.
He's claiming plausible deniability, essentially. That he had no idea that they were going to jump. I had no.
It's got nothing to do with that. The person was literally witnessed, pretty much told, like, if they don't jump, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm hangry. Oh wait,
I'm hangry.
Hold on. Well, I mean, this information would have only been obtained. This would have only been obtained afterwards, but there's also the SIM card.
Oh, does he have a SIM card from a stolen number? I saw it through one.
Yeah, it was the victim.
Oh,
but
he had the SIM card on him?
Yeah, but ultimately, he's probably going to argue, yeah, well, we didn't have that information at the time, which it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's not about what he knows, it's about what you know at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which, I mean, painting the image, it really is as simple as 911 call from this area indicating the person was being shot, a 911 indicating that a person was injured in that area. Upon arrival, nobody seeing a body, but seeing a black Glendale leaving the scene registered to Mr. Paul. Us scouring the area for it. Nobody really going to the northish area until quite a bit later, and then spotting the Glendale, in addition to people dressed as sanitation workers, and the sanitation truck that was left behind where this occurred was registered to the person who was calling 911, and then Barrick seeing, one of the individuals going up the ladder and then being forced off. Yeah, there's a lot of things here. There's a lot of things. Chat, just a reminder, you are completely okay with disagreeing with how things are.
Are you guys gonna follow through with just pushing for charges right now?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
He stated, I don't think that they are. I don't know. I added charges before any sort of plea deal or anything. The additional charges were reckless endangerment in addition to misuse of a rental vehicle. And the important bit there is that I'm then structuring a guilty plea, as I won't push the additional charges of misuse of rental vehicle in addition to reckless endangerment in the event of a guilty plea. If he doesn't plead guilty, I'm going with the full amount. If he does plead guilty, then I'm content with dropping that down.
Yeah, that's fair. I missed this whole thing. I've been busy all day inside the PD with paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
The gun was recovered by Benji, I guess is what I'm looking at.
Correct. There was a gun recovered by Benji, but 2 individuals were positive for gunshot residue. We have not been able to locate a second firearm.
And I'm going to ask a dreadful question.
They were throwing things out in like a 3-block radius of the south side. So,
all right. So this ensued into a chase.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you believe that the gun could have been thrown out, or do you think that
if there was a second gun, yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be in the it could be in the river of the canals. It could be in somebody's backyard across like 30 different houses in the south side.
Want to do lot lizards? Not right now. We're gonna stick with PD stuff for now.
I checked.
This is ready to be processed.
All right. I imagine no guilty plea, correct?
Yeah, it'll be not guilty at this time.
Not guilty for everything.
Give me a second.
You okay?
Am I okay? Yeah.
Yeah. He's a lot.
Well, typically people with high energy are a lot.
That's true.
Not a bad thing. It's just a thing.
I got to my 30s and my energy just dipped.
All right. So taking into account the situation, remember I did indicate regardless of any sort of plea deal,
Sure.
15 months is coming off. But because we are now taking into account the 2 additional charges,